We're in the midst of a half-decent run of form again, and maybe, just maybe, the playoff hope isn't dead. Hello and welcome to part 79 of Backing the Boro. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we're at home against Bury and then away against Bradford, both in League One. Since you were last with me, this is what our form has looked like. So we managed to get ourselves knocked out of the Checker Trade thumped. I mean, it didn't matter. It's the Checker Trade Trophy. People can't even say it right, I hear. But we are on a nice little unbeaten run in the league now, which goes back 6 games all the way to sort of mid-January. So almost a 6-week unbeaten run. Dan Fisher's scoring goals again. New Omar's starting to emerge as a first-team player. And this is what the league table looks like. So we are down in 13th place. So there's quite the gap between us and the playoffs. But it's not huge. It's a 7-point gap with 12 games to go. If we win our next 5 games on the bounce, for example, we're going to be right up in the mix, and it's not impossible yet. And I think we are maybe 1 win away from confirming that we're not going to get relegated as well, because we're 9 points clear of relegation. I think 1 more win, get to that 50-point mark, and we can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief that we have survived in League One at the first time of asking. But can't help but look upwards a little bit and wonder if it might be possible. And this is a team that we're going to be putting out there to try and establish exactly that. We've got Nada in goal. A back four of Hudson, Laskowski, Sawyer and Ibrahim, with Johnson, White and a now fit again Skelton in midfield, and Ball in behind Weaver and Fisher. Joe Anderson is injured. He's been out for a little while. He's going to be out for a little while longer. He's got broken ribs. He's still not broken Sir Tom Elliott's appearance record yet. That injury means it might actually not be this season now. I still expect him to break it at some point, but it might end up being early next year, or you never know, if we sign a superb left back in the summer, it might not be for another 3 years yet. He might never do it. Who knows? He might never play for us again. It's all speculation at this stage, but let's try and win a game. Who are we playing? Bury. Where are Bury in the league? Bury, where are you? Directly below us. It's a mid-table 6-pointer. If there is such a thing. Oh, who's going to be mid-table after this game? Hopefully we can make it 7 games undefeated, but really we need to stop drawing games. If we're realistic about having a push towards the playoffs, a little surge up the league, I think we really do need. This is the point where we need to win 4 or 5 games in a row. Extend that unbeaten run out to 10 plus games with the second half of them all wins. And then we're starting to put some pressure on these teams hovering around above us. But, I mean, it's a long shot. I don't want you calling me a bottle job when we finish in mid-table, because, goodness me, is mid-table a fantastic finish for us this season. When the media expected us to get relegated, the board just did the whole, battle bravely against relegation. But, if you get relegated, don't worry too much. You're not going to lose your job. I was unsackable this year, and we still have turned in some decent performances, despite a huge chunk of this team at this point still being the players that we had when we were down in non-league. It's a real weird thing that I'm learning about doing a Road to Glory style save, because I never really do this kind of thing, this one club save. I don't think I've ever really done it before. And I'm really surprised how many players we've still got at the club who were with us. I mean, even someone like Anderson, who we were talking about before, he was playing for us in the Conference North. The rest of the back four, most of the back four, were with us in the Conference. It's quite surprising how long players stick around for, because when I'm doing a non-league to legend style save and moving around, obviously if I move from if I move to a League 2 club and we get promoted to League 1, we're still a League 2 club. We've still got money to go and completely refresh the squad when we go up. But because we've still got the infrastructure and the finances of a Conference North team, we can't afford to bring in loads of new players. And it's quite interesting having to develop these younger players. I'm enjoying it rather a lot. Apparently there's more than one way to play Football Manager. Who knew? We are 1-0 down though, and I think if we do lose here, we can forget about any possibility of the playoffs. Free kick doesn't get anywhere near a blue shirt, and now Bury do have the opportunity to have a little bit of a counter-attack, although we have got a lot of defenders back. But it doesn't matter, because they've managed to pick out the one black shirt in the penalty area and then elude Robbie Nada. And with 50 minutes on the clock, it's Nuneaton 0, Bury 2, and mid-table for us then. We've lost the mid-table 6-pointer. Now I guess we just spend the rest of the season from here just trying different things, playing players in different positions, perhaps trying some of these youngsters that we've got in, and just seeing what's what and who we might want to use for next year, and having a bit of that's a lovely shot from ball, just from miles out, cannons back off the crossbar. But good to see him have the effort from there. Or do we wait until we're officially mathematically safe from relegation before we start experimenting too much? Just carry on plodding along at the moment, but let's try and get safe from relegation ASAP, and then we can experiment a little bit. I think that's probably a safer system. Right, Fisher's coming off for Lions, and we've got all these injuries. We don't have any more left backs, I don't think. So Hudson's picked up a knock, and that's a problem. Redhead is another one who can play left back for us, but he's also injured. So we're quickly burning through all of our left backs, which is probably going to cause us problems as time goes on. But what you going to do? I'm sure we've got one knocking around in the youth team that we'll just have to draft in if we have to. We sign enough players every summer. I can't believe we didn't sign a left back this year. When did we sign Hudson? I think he's been here 2 years. So I do find it hard to believe there are no left backs anywhere at the club that we can bring up if need be. I just haven't got a clue who they are because we have so many under 18s and under 23s on those little £180 a week contracts that I love so much. We haven't even looked competitive in this game. Actually, scratch that completely. I've just glanced up at the stats for the first time in the game. We're being mugged. Mugging alert, everybody. We're 2-1 up on clear-cut chances, and they're now 3-0 up on the day. What's all this nonsense? We're being mug-thrashed. I don't think I've been mug-thrashed before. We've had narrow muggings, but this is the mugging of all muggings. We've been attacked by a gang of muggers here. I mean, Robbie, what are you thinking? Yeah, I see you. Just let the ball go past you, then wave at me, and apparently you're waving at your mum in the crowd behind you. I don't think Robbie Nadat really gets it, bless him. But we'll persist with him because he's got potential, and we can't find a better goalkeeper. Lions crosses towards Weaver. We've won a penalty. Nobody cares because it's too late in the game for it to make any difference, but it does give Skelton the opportunity to grab a goal for us. And he has missed a couple of penalties recently, though, and he misses that one as well. Man United want him to play with better players. That's why they won't let him come on loan to us next year. I think he needs to buck up his ideas, or I'll decide he's not good enough to come back next year. Because if he keeps missing penalties, then is he really good enough to go and play with better players if he can't score penalties in League One? I think not. New Omar, out to Lions. It's got to be the last kick of the game, really, from one of this lot. New Omar again, who still looks like the tallest man in the universe. Squire Bill, I don't know why it's making us watch such a long highlight when the game is over. And now the game is over, and we got absolutely thumped. The playoffs are dead, and now we get to go away to Bradford, who are sat in a playoff position, and we'll probably beat them, and it'll all be for nothing because we can't catch them now. We're 8 points behind them with 11 games to go. That's too big a gap, I think. No changes for the Bradford game then because, I mean, yeah, we lost 3-0 at home. But it's the same team that have been undefeated for ages. It's the curse of opening up the game again. We all know about the curse. I was on an unbeaten run last night, closed the game, opened it up this morning. Obviously, I'm going to lose my first game. But I still believe in this 11. We'll be absolutely fine. Miles Darwin is playing for Bradford. How different our season might have been if we'd have had them. But then I suppose we wouldn't have gone out and spent real cash money on Johnson, who has been an absolute superstar for us in our midfield. One of the best signings, certainly the best money we've spent, the best transfer we've spent money on in the entire save. But it would have been nice to have Darwin alongside him and Skelton in midfield. It would have been a bit special. And here come Bradford. So Bradford, as it stands right now, 8 points ahead of us. I guess a win would... I mean, it becomes a 5-point gap then. And if they're still in 6th place with it being a 5-point gap, it all becomes on again. I can't stop believing yet. There's a song in that. If anyone would like to sing... If anyone would like me to sing it... No, I'm not going to sing it. Ay, ay, ay. Right, come on lads. Can we at least score a goal on this episode? Prove that we've got a little bit of fight in us, because we were playing so well yesterday and it was just really poor in that last match, and I'm hoping it was just a blip. If we're really poor again, then I do start to worry just a smidgen that we could still get caught up in that relegation battle, and that would be a sad end to the season if after doing so well and being on 48 points in February we somehow get ourselves dragged back into a relegation fight. That would be rubbish, but we're 1-0 down. Oh dearie me. At least we're still above Posh, that's important. It's now only a 7-point gap between us and the relegation zone though, and it's it feels like a really tight league this year. I don't know if this is normal, bearing in mind that I, as a fan, I've spent more years watching League One football, I would guess, than any other league. I'd have to do the calculations. There might be a chance League Two is actually ahead of it, but I try to pretend that's not the case. But I've spent many, many years following League One, and I don't remember it being this tight. I know you have 4 relegations and 3 promotions, so in theory, there's less of a mid-table in this division than any other league in the English structure. But I don't remember getting to March and still being in with a chance of both relegation and promotion ever. It's 1-1 by the way. It's a lovely finish from Weaver, and I've just noticed I've got a piece of hair sticking up, which, I mean, that looks stupid, doesn't it? Time for a haircut again. It's a lovely header from Weaver though, and it's all back on again, everybody. Mood swing Kev is back, because I have no idea how the last 10 games of this season are going to pan out. We could still conceivably finish anywhere between about 5th and 20th, which I guess is fun for the fans. I mean, it's a bit terrifying for those of us who are medicated for high blood pressure, though. I need an easy season. Not even an easy season, I need a relaxing season, just a mid-table obscurity season. So this kind of position, but 10 extra points, which I acknowledge would put us right up in the playoff mix. So I don't understand the league this season. I need to compare this to the real life League One table at 36 games and just see if it really was as tight as it seems to be in game. Right, Fisher's coming on and New Omar's coming on as well. Should we push Skelton further forward? No, apparently New Omar's better in that position. So Lions and New Omar are going to try and combine and grab us a winner and get us right back in the promotion mix, because no one seems to be winning their games in this whole area. They were all on 56 points in the first minute of the match. So if we can grab a win, we do close some ground on lots of teams. Let's get Squire Bill on, see if he can have a little bit of Sir Tom Elliott magic flowing through him. The reincarnation of Sir Tom Elliott, who's not dead. John Lyons is injured. I'm not even going to change anything. There's no point. There's 3 minutes left. We don't have any more substitutes. The only change I could possibly do is move Weaver slightly more centrally, but I feel like that's not going to make much difference. And now Darwin with the corner, but luckily it ends up in the hands of Robbie Nadat, and I guess it was ending with a draw, which, I mean, it's not ideal. Although Weaver has got a chance here right at the death. There's like 5 seconds left. Hudson jumping up and down twice, tries to cross, but it goes out for a corner and we don't even get time to take it because the match is over, as is any hopes we had of a promotion push. But, you know, we'll secure our place in the league and then we'll start experimenting a little bit and we'll see where we go from there. If you have enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.